Hello, Internet, and welcome to a new game called Grey Goo. Kind of an odd name, but it's actually based on a science fiction theory that used to exist. Feel free to go check it out. But this is a new real-time strategy game that has been released and is very command and conquer-ish. It's not as fast-paced and requires as much action per minute as StarCraft does. So for people who like real-time strategy games at a slower pace, this is a very good game to try out. We're not going to talk about the campaign, although I will say it is badass. We're going to talk about some skirmishes. We're going to go over the three basic races. We're going to do one video per race. We're going to start with the beta. If you want to know more about each race, play the campaign, watch the trailers. It's a cool-ass story. We're going to pick a 1v1 map. We're going to do standard game, which means we just have to destroy the HQ and all their buildings. Free-for-all, and then epic units will be available because I love me some epic units. Now, like I said, I do like the story behind this game. It follows the idea of the science fiction theory the game is named off of. It's a really cool game. Like I said, we don't have a lot of real-time strategy games in today's world. So, this is nice. This is a good addition because a lot of people don't like StarCraft because it's really fast-paced. If you're not clicking a bunch of buttons at once, it's hard to be good at. And a lot of people want more of that Age of Empires Command and Conquer, very, kind of slower-paced stuff. So we're basically, like I said, we're going to talk against the AI, or we're going to play against the AI. I'm going to end up putting the AI on easy because I'm going to be going pretty slow talking about all the different units and buildings that exist. And we're just going to play through a game like that. I'm going to go over every little detail I can think of. So, as we can see here, we have me and then we have the AI. Like I said, we're going to pop them on easy. I don't really care how they build. This just tells you how they're going to build. They can do whatever the hell they want. We're going to play against the beta, though, just so you can see them in action against us. And I want to start on that side. So they'll end up starting over there, obviously. And we're just going to kind of... We'll show off the game as we play. So the main goal of this game is you have one type of resource. It's energy. That's all it is. It's in little extractors that are spread around the map. You need to... No matter how far away they are, they'll always give you the same amount of energy, so you don't need to be wicked close to it in order to get the benefits from it fully. But the farther away it is does require a good deal more defense, because the harvesters have to make it there. So let's talk about the beta. The beta start with one commando unit, which is right here, and they're also going to start with their main base.
Get out.
Now, the way the beta work is that each of their headquarters and then their hubs, which we'll get into, each have a certain amount of building slots. The headquarters has 4, and then the small hub has 2, the medium hub has 4, and the large hub will have 6. And we'll get into each of those as we get going. So the hotkeys are very basic. Q brings up our structures, W brings up our light units, E our heavy units, R will bring up air units, and then T will bring up our tech upgrades. So starting off, the first thing you always want to do is we'll go into structures, and as you can see, once we go into structures, the Q, W, E, R hotkeys exist again, but this time we're deciding which buildings we want to build. We have economic buildings, we have unit producing buildings, upgrade buildings, and then our walls. So we're going to do an economic building. We're going to build the first one, which is a refinery. So we're going to build the refinery, and then we're going to select the extractor we want to put it on, or the resource we want to put it on. In the bottom right here, if you click toggle resource display, it will show all the areas where we can build refineries. Up in the top right, we have our current unit count, our resources collected, and our resource rate of collection, which right now is 0. It will pop to 10 when this gets up there. He is sending a scout in, which they usually do.
Let's make it quick.
I'm going to try to cut him off.
Extractor complete.
So with the extractor done, we now have the capability to build a silo. A silo increases our energy output, or the amount of energy we can hold. So right now, if you look in the top right, we can hold 1,000. That will increase it to 1,250. We can also now build our first unit producing building, which is a factory. So we're going to pop that onto our headquarters here. So we'll go over some of the buildings. Like I said, the silo increases our energy output. To build a small hub, we need a factory, and that will allow us to build 2 more buildings. A medium hub requires a small hub So until we build a small hub, we can't have a medium hub. A medium hub will allow us to build 4 connected structures, and then a large hub allows us to power 6. We have our factories, which will allow us to produce 1 ground unit, as you can see here.
Factory complete.
It will allow us to do that. We also have large factories, which require a factory plus a tech. We have a hangar, which will
Unit in production.
allow us to build air units, and then a repair pad will let us repair our ground units. So I'm going to kind of go fast here for a minute just to make sure that things are all going as I wish them to.
Beginning construction.
I'll go into everything that I'm doing here in a sec.
Beginning construction.
But so other than that, our next buildings are our tank, artillery, air, and stealth attachments, which allow us to get the respective upgrades as well as build those specific units. And then obviously walls we can build to provide us a little more defense. And then some of our units can actually come up onto walls and serve as turrets. So like our commando here, if we build a wall, we can pop him on our wall and he will act as a turret.
Small hub complete.
Right.
Beginning construction. Stealth attachment complete.
So we're getting another extractor because we do want to get more
On
energy.
the move.
So for other so we've gone over our buildings. You know, you got a large factory. We've gone over all that. So now let's go over units. We have for the betas, we have our ground units, our tanky artillery units, our air units, and then our ultimate unit. For basic units, we have commandos, which are just basic marine type units. Stalkers are anti-armor units. Predators are tank units. They do require the tank attachment. And then Seekers are stealth scouting units that can detect stealth, and they require a stealth attachment.
Unit under attack.
Obviously, you can see they're starting to attack us.
Confirming assist.
Extractor complete.
Stalker.
It looks like they're playing a pretty heavy
Hold
offensive.
it together.
They're playing a pretty offensive game, so we're gonna need to start doing a bit more here, moving a little bit
Refinery
faster.
under attack. Beginning
Once our stalker gets out, we'll be all set. We'll finish that off, and then we'll just have to start getting some more
Unit in production.
Check. Stalker.
buildings produced.
Refinery
So anyway,
under attack.
our Cloudburst is an anti-air unit. Our Hailstorm is an artillery unit, which that requires an artillery attachment. That requires an air attachment. Our Avalanche requires 2 attachments and is a heavy siege unit. And then our Guardian is a really heavy defensive unit, which requires tank and air. Our Stratus is an air scouting unit that requires a hangar. Our Warbird requires an air attachment as well as a hangar. It's a fighting unit. Our Bomber unit is called a Nimbus, and it requires artillery as well as air unit.
Under attack.
Stalker. Check.
As you can see, they have a
Where to aim. Forward.
Hailstorm, and then we obviously have our ultimate unit. So now we need to start getting out some units faster, or else we're going to end up losing. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to pump out
Unit under attack.
some commandos, but it's not going to let us at the moment.
Large factory complete.
Alright, our commandos, it's done. So now we're going to try to pump out some stalkers a little quicker.
Unit in production.
We're actually going to halt production on this end for now. We'll grab a Seeker just so we can scout them. Actually, no, because I want to make sure we can get some more minerals. So what we're going to do now
Need a target.
is we're going to
The word.
use our stalkers, and we're going to kind of push out here, see if we can get some more extractors and stuff up.
Move out. New direction orders. Check.
We have another big extractor down here, so we're going to use our small hub that we built. We're going to get another refinery
Unit in production.
on this one. Now, refineries are one of the biggest hogs of energy when you build them. As you can see, we're at negative 49 a second, so having some stockpiled energy when you build them will not hurt your cause. As you can see, we have enough stockpiled energy to finish it out.
Complete.
And with the refinery complete, the extractor will go down and we'll start getting some more units
All
out.
units. This way. I'll be stopped.
So we're getting some stalkers out because they're nice basic units to start with. But we are going to want some heavier tech units out. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to build a medium hub because that will allow us to hold four
Unit under attack.
buildings for units.
Beginning construction.
Stalker. Ready. For the keep. Assist. Check. Stalker awaiting instruct.
And we're just going to kind of push out here a little
Move out.
farther.
New direction orders. Right behind you. Run them down. All units. This way. For the
So we do have 2 more guys down here.
Stalker. Ready to
We're
run
probably
them
going to
down.
grab a small hub down here.
Unit ready. Unit in production.
That way we can just grab these two extractors when we need them.
Small hub complete.
We also want to make sure we don't get attacked from a different angle, so we're going to come down here and we're going to build a wall just to make sure they can't sneak up behind us on this side. So wall, we just go QRQ, and we're going to build it across.
Beginning construction.
And what we're going to do is we're actually going to have our first factory. We're going to construct 3 commandos,
Unit in production.
and we're going to put them on this wall because that will allow them to build. They'll act as a
Small hub
turret.
Complete.
Stalker, check.
So we're going to wait for our minerals to stockpile a little higher because we're at +4 a second right now.
Wall complete.
There we go. And then we're going to grab another
Unit in
extractor.
production. Beginning construction. Beginning construction.
As you see, we're going to blow through our
Unit
stockpiled energy there, but that's
Unit
okay
in production.
because
Refinery.
we'll end up with more in the end.
Unit ready. Unit
Our commandos
in
can now go up on this wall and act as
Unit
turrets.
Under attack.
And with that done,
Tell me where to
since
aim.
they're being pretty aggressive, we're probably going to want to get some defensive units out.
Extractor complete.
Our stalkers will hold off for a while, but not for long. So next thing we're going to work on is
Unit ready. Unit in production.
getting a medium hub up.
Beginning construction.
We have this small hub. I meant to build a bigger one, but didn't go too well. But what we can use this for, since we have it, is we'll build a hangar and we'll get some air units out.
I just need a target. Bata mata fasir.
We have quite a few minerals spared up, so we're going to grab a small hub. We're going to grab this extractor next.
Beginning construction. Unit ready. Unit in production.
And the next thing we're going to want to do
Move out. Check new
is make sure we
direction
can't get
orders.
attacked from the
I'll be
south.
stalking.
Refinery.
So we're going to grab another wall.
Beginning construction. Hangar complete.
We have our 2 commandos down here. We're going to put them on the wall.
Tell me where to go.
And then we will have our small factory
Unit in
queue up 4
production.
more to go on this wall.
Extractor complete. Medium hub complete.
Now that our medium hub is done, we can
Unit
start
in
producing.
production.
Our next building that I want to get for my build is a
Wall
Guardian,
complete.
because they are very defensive. They will help us hold off until we get our ultimate unit, which I like to use to kill them. It's not necessary by any
Unit
means,
ready.
but we need a tank
Unit
attachment
in
and an air
production.
attachment, as well as our factory to build them. So we're going to get our factory,
Constructed.
we're going to get our tank attachment,
Beginning
and we're going to
construction.
get our air attachment. And that's going to, and then we're also going to build a silo on it, because that'll let us hold a little more
Unit in
minerals.
production. Beginning construction. Unit ready. Unit in production.
Let's run them down. All unit check. This way.
So we're going to push forward a little bit more.
Move out.
We don't want to go too far.
Confirming them down. Very nice.
Unit under attack.
Because otherwise we're going to have a
Factory
problem.
Complete. Unit ready. Unit in production. Tank attachment complete.
We'll grab another medium
Unit
hub
ready. Unit in
so we can get a
production.
bunch of this, because this is a
Air
nice
attachment
river
complete.
of just extractors we can
Beginning
use.
construction.
And the next thing we're going to
Silo
do
complete.
is get us a large hub,
Wall
because a large
under
hub
attack.
will allow us to build our
Unit
ultimate
under
unit.
attack. Unit ready. Beginning construction.
So we're going to get some commandos out. Now that this is done, we're going to start getting some guardians.
Wall under attack. Unit in production.
Looks like they're preparing an attack right here.
Unit ready.
Luckily, these walls can be turned into gates. We're going to take some of this larger stalker force,
The word.
and we're going to send it down here to defend
Wall
on this end.
Under attack.
All units. This way. On my way. I'm here.
Since we have a stealth attachment, we're actually going to be able to look into the upgrades here.
Wall under
I'm not going to
attack.
go into the upgrades as much,
Medium hub complete.
For the keep. Check. I'm hit. Will assist.
Unit
But-
under attack. Unit ready.
basically there's upgrades related to each of your basic. You have your ground unit, or you have your basic. You have your upgrades for basically every type of thing.
Large hub.
Since we have a stealth
complete.
attachment, we can get stealth upgrades. So we're going to get the stealth sniper upgrade for our stalkers.
Group. Move out. I'll be stalking.
Our large hub is done. So in order to build our ultimate unit for this race, we need to have a large hub with 2 large factories and 1 of each type of attachment. So now that we have our large hub, we're going to build everything we need to create our ultimate unit.
Yes.
Unit ready.
We're
Unit in
also going to grab another extractor.
Beginning construction.
And we're going to be blowing through minerals pretty fast here for a little bit, so we'll slow down some, let the stalkers build.
Unit ready. Unit in production.
We're getting some guardians out.
Unit ready.
Guardian check.
Refinery complete.
So we can start replacing some of these commandos with guardians. Because they're nice and heavy.
Tank attachment complete. Artillery attachment complete. Extractor complete. Air attachment complete. Beginning construction. Unit ready. Unit in production.
New
I'm
direction.
just going to move up here a little bit.
Assist check.
Unit ready. Unit in production. Unit under attack. Beginning
Get some more
construction.
extractors up.
Large
Extractors.
factory complete. Large factory complete. Refinery complete.
So our large hub is done. The next thing we can do is turn this into a hand of rook, which takes 20 minerals per second, and it takes 5 minutes, so it's going to take quite a while.
Extractor complete. Unit in production. Unit ready.
So we're going to get another guardian up on this wall.
Production.
Go ahead. Ready to defend.
Unit ready. Unit in production.
They are working on the hand of rook as we speak.
Unit under attack.
Let's run them down. Right behind down. Stalker, ready.
So now that we have our hangar up and running, we can grab a couple Stratuses because they're really fast scouts.
Unit ready.
And then any other upgrades we feel obligated to get. So let's go over some of these beta upgrades since we're waiting for our hand of rook to finish.
Unit
In the Q
production.
section, we have the detonator pack upgrade. Our commandos will explode when they're killed. Our autocannon upgrade will make avalanches able to move and fire. The third upgrade will allow our predators, which will allow them 4 shots.
Unit in production.
Predator's volley of 4 shots is reduced to a single fire shot, allowing them to retarget each shot as needed. In the requirements for our assault upgrades, we have our ground assault, so our cloud burst can target ground enemies.
Under attack.
We can get a long-range ballistic upgrade, which allows our guardians' ground weapons to become a long-range artillery shot.
Unit in production.
Platform stability lets our hailstorms move and fire. Commandos can gain the ability to shoot air units. Our air bombers can drop heavy-duty fire bombs. And our Stratus's recon beacons now explode when they expire. We already talked about some of the stealth upgrades. There's also an upgrade so that our Steakers lose their stealth but now provide stealth to any allied units that are nearby. And then Stratuses can also gain the ability to detect stealth. And then you have auto-repair armored casing for our harvesters, as well as our small hubs gaining armor and will now slowly repair themselves. So those are all the basic upgrades we have. I'm actually probably going to throw a tank attachment onto this guy.
Beginning construction.
As well as an artillery attachment, just because I want to make sure I can get all the upgrades.
Beginning construction.
Our hand of rook is 2.5 minutes from being complete. We are capped out on supply.
Stalker awaiting instruct.
As you can see,
Stalker,
these stalkers
ready to
have
run
the
them down.
stealth sniper upgrade.
Stalker, you have a target?
Tank attachment complete.
Stalker, check. Tell me
And obviously,
where to
while
fight.
they're moving,
All units, this way.
they all become invisible while they're moving.
Artillery attachment complete.
Alright, with the artillery attachment done, we can actually get the long-range ballistics upgrade, so these guardians will all be quite a bit more hefty in their defense.
Garrison ready.
Our Hand of Rook is nearly finished. Got 1 minute and 30 seconds left. We do have one Stratus available. We're just going to send him over to scout to see what's going on. So, I've given you an overview of most of the stuff. As you can see, you want to make sure you're not building too fast because you don't want this to go down ridiculously. Refineries are the biggest thing to make this drop when you're building them. So if you're going to rebuild a refinery, lay off for a little while. We're obviously full on units, as we can see. And with our scout in here, we can see what they're building, what they have for an army.
Eyes in the sky. Moving out.
At this point, this looks like to be what they have.
I'm en route.
So we're just going to kind of sit back. We're going to wait for our guy to finish, which will be in 40 seconds. Now, it is good to note that some of these extractors will eventually run out of their resources, so it is a good idea to kind of continuously expand if you need to, if you have the capability to.
Yes.
So we'll send some guys down here.
Yes.
We'll build another wall.
Everyone, go!
And we'll grab the 2 extractors that are down here.
Ready for orders.
And then we'll build a wall to keep it safe.
Unit ready.
We gotta wait for those guys to pass through. And then we can build
Beginning
it.
construction.
Just want a small hub. Probably right here so we can grab both
Beginning
extractors.
construction.
Commander ready. Moving now.
Our Hand of Rook is finished. He can build units for us as well as make things quite a pain in the ass for the enemy. So we're just going to wait for our Hand of Rook to catch up. Meanwhile, we're going to make sure we secure our defenses here.
Yes, Commander. I'm ready.
Small hub complete.
We got a pretty decent defense at this point. Oh, I didn't want them all to dismount.
Canisters full.
Beginning construction. Artillery tech upgrade complete. Beginning construction.
Our Hand of Rook is slowly making his way over.
Refinery complete. Beginning construction.
Guns ready.
Unit under attack.
And our armies will now meet. Now watch this ultimate unit do his work.
Army trouble.
Kaboom, baby.
Extractor.
And that's what happens when you make an ultimate unit.
Refinery complete.
So we're just going to make our way through their base at this point.
Check. Will assist.
We'll also,
Unit under attack. Unit
we'll make
in
sure
production.
we're going to actually grab another large hub. We're not going to make another ultimate unit. We're just going to grab some silos to make sure our energy cap is a little higher.
Unit ready. Unit in production.
But at this point, we're just going to run through their entire base.
Ready to deploy.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit
The
in
Hand of Rook has
production.
quite a long-range rocket.
Kill.
Unit under attack.
So he's going to move in. Our guy's going to move in at the same time.
Unit ready. Unit
And we can
in
see that that rocket is freaking deadly.
What do you need to
We're
see?
going to send our Stratus around just to make sure they don't have anything anywhere else. And at that point, I think we've pretty much finished it.
Unit ready. Large hub complete.
Group, move out.
Alright, our large hub
Unit
finished.
ready. Beginning construction. Unit ready.
Going to build a bunch of silos. Make sure we can hold a little more energy.
Give me the word. New Direction orders.
It looks like this is pretty much all they had. Obviously, it was the easy AI. I just wanted to make sure I could show you everything they had, though. And that's pretty much it. That's kind of the basic breakdown for the betas. Like you saw, the Stalkers are pretty good units to start with. The Guardians are really good defensive units. The Hand of Rook is BA.
Complete.
Obviously, you don't need to play with the epic units on it, but I like to. If not, you could get some Avalanche. Some Hailstorms are pretty good for attacking. Some Avalanches aren't bad either. Predators are good units to start with if you're going to be early aggressive.
Player eliminated.
But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Please like and subscribe for more content. Leave a comment with additional tips for the players. I'm going to also be doing a video on the goo as well as the humans. So that is it for this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.